Oh, it is a happy Thursday, July 3rd. We are here, Yankees Morning Brew, and the Yankees suck. Yeah.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Good morning, Yankees universe, and welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, July 3rd. I'm your guy, Hector, joined by my guy, the Ace Avenue, and the compañera from the big state of Texas, Grace Monroe. And all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Grace, how you feeling to this morning?
Oh, okay. Well, Giancarlo Stanton, okay? He hit his first home run since coming back. So that's the positive thing. That's all I got.
Ace, how you feeling, bro?
Giancarlo Stanton, Elijah just popped in the chat. We got to keep the Stanton stuff to a minimum.
Here we go.
But how am I feeling right now? I mean, the title says it all, man. We're in a free fall right now. Is this rock bottom? Every time we think it is, the Yankees tend to hit a new low, but we're going to talk about it.
Yes, definitely. We're going to jump into the conversation. Guys, like always, if you can, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Right now on YouTube, we are at 5,510 subscribers. So we got like 50 new subscribers from the last time we were live. Sorry that there was no show this past Tuesday. Grace had something to pop up. And no. I reached out to Ace. Ace's internet was messed up. I was going to have Jason on with me, but I woke up feeling like caca. I literally felt like a truck hit me. I had no energy, so no show, but we back. I'm refreshed. I was at Citi Field yesterday doing the doubleheader for the Mets game. That's the first time I worked the doubleheader. So I was at the stadium at 9 in the morning, and I left the stadium at 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. So yeah, I got home late. I was doing a real double shift yesterday, but we're here to talk New York Yankees. The Yankees lost to the Toronto Blue Jays. Before we get into that, let's shout out the chat before we continue. We got one of the best chats that's out there. Anna Marie is in the building. Double shout outs to Anna Marie. My guy Jacob Petruzzi is in the building. Jacob, how you doing? Stephen B, salute, 3 capital S's. Theo Nosebleed section says, morning, y'all. Why am I going to punish myself this morning? Because we're Yankee fans. That's why we punished each other. Shout out to my guy Ghost, mi hermano de la Isla is in the building. Of course, my brother C Money Caleb is in the building. Caleb, how you doing, my guy? Salute. Got to shout out the lovely girlfriend Alex in the building. And of course, big time Jerry Cadill is in the building. Good morning, Jerry. I hope all is well with you and the family. Shout out to TC Stills and shout out to TC Stills' brother. But Grace, I'll kick it over to you. Lead the conversation, because last night you didn't even send me no text message about like what was your thoughts of the game. You was like, this is the title, this is the headline, make it now, and let's go and talk, because I gotta get things off my chest.
Oh, and trust me, Hector, while I'm watching the game, y'all, I'm trying to think of what the title is going to be for the video. And trust me when I say I had 4 or 5 different drafts going, because obviously everybody watched the game last night. It was like, I think it was Jack Curry who said on Hot Stove afterward, it was like watching 3 different games in one game. So I had several different angles going, but I finally settled on a total collapse. And with that, Hector, why don't you go ahead and send me to the hot corner real quick?
Oh, we starting the hot corner early. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are headed to Grace's Monroe Hot Corner.
Thank you so much, Hector Beauchamp and the Ace Avenue. This is Grace Monroe reporting live from the Bronx, where it is in fact burning and there is no hope in sight. Everyone is running in the streets, screaming at the top of their lungs that the New York Yankees franchise is in fact dead. Okay, now let me tell y'all, this is what the hot corner is about, okay? There was no point in yesterday's game in which I, as a die-hard Yankees fan, thought we were going to win that game.
Same.
When we gave up 7 runs in the first inning, I was like, okay. Then they crawled all the way back. We had a Giancarlo Stanton moonshot. We had an Aaron Judge tie the game, and it was in late innings in the game. We had one of our top, if not the top, arguably, if you want to say closer at the time, who was on the mound in a tie game, and I never thought the Yankees were going to pull out the win. That is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. As someone who watches all the games, I know y'all in the chat, you probably watch all the games. I know Ace watches all the games. I know Heck watches all the games. We are the audience right here. We're the true Yankees fans right here. And did anyone ever think that we had a chance to win that game? I truly want to know. Am I crazy? Am I like way off? Am I losing my senses? Am I too negative? Am I too negative? Y'all let me know. If anybody, y'all in the chat, drop it in. Did you think we were going to come back and win that game, even when it was tied?
Put a thumbs up if you thought yes. Put a thumbs down if you thought no.
Yes. Let me know. That's the hot corner. There is no joy in Mudville. There is no joy in the Bronx, okay? Not even when the game is fucking tied.
Ace, floor's yours, brother. Let's get your thoughts, because you were calling the game yesterday. You do your amazing. Again, shout out to my brother Ace. Make sure you guys give him a subscribe over there on the Ace Avenue, because you do an amazing watch along over there. Shout out to everybody that does watch alongs. You do a really good one. Let us know your thoughts, and let us know. Just go ahead, speak to the people.
Yeah. All right, first and foremost, Heck, I'm glad you're feeling better. You said you felt like Gaga with no energy. That's been the New York Yankees as of the last 3 weeks, full of Gaga and no energy, because this team is poop and has been playing like poop for about 5 weeks now. And I saw some things yesterday that really started to irritate me. I'm going to keep it as clean as I can because I respect you guys. I love the hell out of you guys, and you guys bring me on the channel all the time. You guys are amazing. Everybody like and subscribe to 10K and more for Uptown Sports. But the things that I saw yesterday, giving up 5 runs before you even get it out is disgusting. Losing 3 out of 4, losing to another division team is disgusting. Everybody from the top to the bottom. What did Julius once say from Remember the Titans? Attitude reflects leadership, captain. And this team has no leadership. It starts at the top and it goes all the way to the bottom. And I'm even getting on the boy Aaron Judge, because Aaron Judge pissed me off yesterday. We're losing 7-0, and you're laughing and joking with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. like shit sweet. You good over here. We're good. We're having a good old time. We're getting smacked. 5 weeks that we've been playing real bad. We're now in second place, but it must be nice. Tell me a joke. I want to hear a joke. You want to know the joke? New York Yankees are a joke. That's what it comes down to as of right now, ultimately. So it's just like, when is this going to stop? The common denominators are there. I say this all the time. In my opinion, Aaron Boone is the June swoon with Boone continues, under Boone continues, and it's just so frustrating watching this team. They're finding new and different ways to lose every night, and right now, currently, they're just playing such a bad brand of baseball that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the Yankees for the month of June, they were 10-14, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody help correct me if I'm wrong on that. But the biggest concern I have is their record against the American League East. I think the Yankees are 10-15 against the AL East. Somebody give me the record for the New York Yankees in the month of June. I think I got that wrong. I think they got 12 wins, 14 losses, something like that. 12 and 19, right? Dating back to June with the first few games in July as well. When you're a team that's struggling the way that the New York Yankees are struggling right now, the minimum errors are going to stick out like a big fat thumb. When you go 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position, when you leave 10 guys on bases, when you're hitting into double play after double play, when pitchers are going out there feeling like the pressure is on their back and you start the game, I'm literally typing I'm at Citi Field, right? I'm working on my article for the New York Knicks about their new head coach, Mike Brown. I'm typing my article. I got Spotify going on. I got my lo-fi music in the background. I got my computer and my phone on Do Not Disturb. I look up at the scoreboard to look at the Mets game, and I see the scores from around the league, and I see the Yankees are losing 7-0 in the first inning. Again, when you talk about trying to rectify the June swoon, like you brought out, Ace. When you're going through a slump, you need something to motivate your team. Losing the first 2 games, going into the 3rd game against the Toronto Blue Jays, a division rival, starting that game down 7-0 is not going to give your team any type of motivation. You're going into the game 4 today. Hopefully you don't get swept. I know the Subway Series is coming up and both teams are trash and playing caca right now, but the New York Yankees, they are finding new ways to lose games, like Ace point out. Hey, Grace, you bring it up. And I'm going to go back to not just yesterday's game, but the game before when the Yankees had the lead and they came back to tie the game going into late into the game. We gave it back to Toronto. Yeah. It feels like we cannot hold the lead. No lead is safe with this bullpen. And it goes back to when Luke Weaver first got injured. When Luke Weaver got injured and was on the IL, everybody got overused. Everybody was exacerbated. And now we're back to it. Nobody's rested. Everybody's overused. The starting rotation is whacked. The lineup is bad. And when you're playing bad baseball, everything just sticks out like a sore thumb.
And you can see it on the opponent's face. They're not worried. There is no point at which you looked at the Toronto Blue Jays and they looked like, oh, we got to be aggressive and we need to come back to win this game and we got to. No, they were straight chilling. Like, they know that. Y'all, can we please talk about all of the free bases that the Yankees gave away yesterday and during this series and within the last month, within the last year, within the last 4 years? I mean, people know. They know. Go ahead and run. Kirk legged out a double. Kirk waddling around the bases.
And Goldsmith kept that in his back pocket too. I yelled at that too.
You yelled at what?
Goldsmith had him at second. He just kept it in his back pocket. Mm-hmm. And
I was like, wait a minute. Did Kirk just get a hustle double? What is happening? Vlad Guerrero stealing bases. Is Vladdy a speedster? I don't think so. These people know. They know that when you hit the ball in the outfield, if you're on offense, you put the ball in the outfield, our outfielders will maybe try to throw it in, but probably won't hit the cutoff man, or the person will not be where he needs to be to make the tag at second base or to get the out. So you see you see our outfielders all the time just throw the ball in and no play. There's no play. Mm. And I mean, it is extremely upsetting. Will Warren had 36 pitches in the first inning. 36 pitches. 7 runs. 7 runs, and then the 8th came later. But 7 runs in the first inning. 36 pitches, and it was like, okay. But I was like, Will, my guy, you better figure it out, because we don't have a bullpen. We don't have a bullpen to come help you out of this one.
Nope.
You know,
I'm gonna say this too. I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, come on.
Will, kudos to Will for going out there and at least giving us more innings, because he could have been out at the first. And I'm saying it the whole time, like, keep him out there, because our bullpen is too taxed right now. And like, you guys were saying, since Luke Weaver went down, I'm telling you, I said this last time, since that Dodger series where we got our asses kicked that Saturday game, I don't think the bullpen has responded since then. Because we blew everybody out there on top of 16 games in a row. But it's no excuse for these guys. They have to go out there. But at least Will was able to give us 4 after getting his ass kicked, because we had no choice. Yeah.
When you're down 7-0 after the first inning, you try to look for any silver lining that you can, right? And if you're going to throw young players out there and let them learn at the major league level, you keep Will Warren in that game. Yes, he gave up 7 runs, but let's let Will Warren go out there as a major league pitcher and let him figure it out. Let's see if he can get 2 or 3 more innings for us. Even if we lose the game 14-0, let Will Warren go out there and let him learn how to pitch against major league pitching. He saw what he did in the first inning. Let's see how he bounces back, coming back after that. But like you said, Ace, he gave us some valuable innings, because our bullpen is shot right now. It is shot. And when you lose the facet in the way that you have been losing over this past month, dating back to June, the beginning of June, I know it's July 3rd right now. There's not, to me, and Jacob, I'm going to bring up Eli's comment in a second, right? To me, though, there's not one person that gets the blame. The blame is a collective. It's a collective blame. Everybody's at fault here. I know Judge had an amazing start to the season. I know he's having a great season. He's safe for a little bit, right? Everybody else gets blamed because even Paul Goldsmith, we was praising Paul Goldsmith, praising him. Paul Goldsmith hit 150 in the month of June. 150 in the month of June. And nobody said a word about it. Nobody said a word about Paul Goldsmith. But we want to point at everybody else and point the finger at everybody else. I love to praise players when they're performing well. But if you hit 150 for the month, why am I crashing out over Anthony Volpe and DJ LeMahieu when you're hitting 150 also? You're getting mixed into that conversation as well.
I'm not mad at Paul. Paul has more picks than anybody else at first, I think, or something. I mean, he's holding it down at least on one side of the ball. I mean, if his defense was suffering too, we would be mad at Paul. But he had a slump. He's coming back out of it, I think. But the whole time he was holding down the defense, and the infield has been absolutely piss poor, but not Paul. So I think that's why Paul is escaping some criticism. However, I agree with you, Hector. It is a team-wide issue. They're not playing as a unit. They're not playing as a team. They're not communicating. They're not excited to execute strong defensive plays as a unit, like you see with little league teams or high school teams or these teams who gel and they get excited to throw the ball around and get those outs and earn that extra respect from your pitcher because the pitcher knows you got their back. We don't see that. Like yesterday, well, anyway, I want to say this, and y'all help me out because I really tried to rack my brain on what movie this was because I know I didn't make this up. But somewhere in the zeitgeist, there's a movie, okay, about sports. And I don't know what sport it was, okay? But it's something like there's like a big superstar athlete, okay? And he's like got all these endorsements and he's making all millions and billions and whatever dollars and he's super famous. He signs autographs, he's dating movie stars and he's like all, smelling his own farts, what we say, right?
Come on, A-Rod.
And he forgets how to play his game, right? He starts slumping. He starts doing bad. He starts, and it's snowballing and he's not doing well in whatever sport it is. And he comes upon a group of kids playing that sport and he watches them. It's either like a basketball game, he walks up on some street ball or something, or a baseball game and he walks up on a sandlot or something and he sees kids playing the game.
It's vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I know.
It reminds me of that scene from Space Jam where Charles Barkley
That's what I was thinking of.
And then went to the hoop and was getting bodied by street ballers. That's what it reminds me of.
Okay, maybe that's it. So, but he plays with them and he starts to remember the joy of the sport, the fundamentals of the sport, and remember the feeling of being a ball player, not being a celebrity, not being an all-star, not being a
So what it was Major League 2. So what it was Ricky Vaughn. When Ricky Vaughn was struggling, he got all those endorsements. Coming off of Major League 1, he was phenomenal, blah, blah, blah. Going into Major League 2, he got a bunch of endorsements. He started dressing corporately. He started naming his pitches. And then he started hanging out with the kids from the orphanage and seeing how they fell in love with the game. And it brought him back to going back to the leather jacket, going back to being called the Wild Thing. And
the Wild, getting back. Okay, that's what we need to, thank you, Hector. That's what we need to happen for this team. And except it's not one player. It's the whole team. The whole team needs to have a day or something where they play baseball with kids who know you don't run when the ball is hit in front of you. You hit the cutoff man. You cover your bag. Little things like this. Get back to the basics. Get the feeling back that you had when you wanted to play for the New York Yankees so bad. Because these guys are so far off from that. They're worried about hitting home runs. They're worried about padding their stats. I'm not saying they don't like each other. I can see that the team likes each other, but they're not playing as a unit.
I'll kick it over to Ace. To your point, Gary Sheffield was on foul territory. Speaking about that, go ahead, Ace.
I mean, I feel exactly what Grace is saying. This team is just so fundamentally flawed at the end of the day where they can't even do the little things, and it starts with everybody. We can't even put out a consistent lineup. Somebody tell me when the last time we had the same lineup on back-to-back days. Other teams throw out the same lineup for about 5 days, 5 out of 7 days, 6, 7 days, depending on their off day. Yankees switch things up at the top at every other game. Jason Dominguez, we know damn well he's not playing tonight. It's as simple as that because Trent Grisham got some late run yesterday, and it's the same stuff. The best 9 players need to play. It's that simple. As far as what we were talking about with Goldschmidt, you know what I'm saying? The reason I agree with what Grace was saying, Goldschmidt's glove is saving him from a lot of criticism because he is our best infielder. Realistically, like, it's at the point now, Jazz needs to get moved back to second because it doesn't make sense logically. Logically, my brain doesn't compute the fact that where it's like, if Jazz is weakest at third and DJ LeMahieu's cooked, wouldn't you rather have one hole in the lineup by at least moving LeMahieu over to third and having a better second baseman at second? 1 + 1 = 2 sometimes. And yet the Yankees think it equals 22 because they think they're smarter than everybody else. And on top of that, Volpe's adding on to his shit by deciding he wants to not make so many mental mistakes. It's not even about the talent. It's the mental, fundamental things where he thinks he can do more than what he can do. Sometimes it's just easier just to put in your back pocket. But at the same time, too, the Yankees we've seen this all year. They're trying to do things at the detriment of other things. We're going to play Trent Grisham at the detriment of Jason Dominguez. We're going to keep DJ LeMahieu at second at the detriment of Jazz Chisholm over there. When realistically, this is why this team is so fundamentally flawed. You're seeing DJ LeMahieu, people are just taking bases on him, no problem. As soon as, when it's hit to the cutoff, no problem, because they know he's old and washed, and that's fine. Father Time catches up to us all, but the Yankees really want to feel like they can get the most out of DJ and be like, okay, he's not necessarily done. We can unlock him. No, it's at the detriment of the season. The best players need to play. Dominguez needs to be out there every single day because the numbers that this kid is putting up and in a part-time role is crazy. And just imagine if he was playing every single day. Grace, I know that's music to your ears.
I know, it really is. He's got to be one of the most consistent guys without having consistency. It's ridiculous what this kid is doing. And he is fighting against sabotage.
Yeah.
And he is still succeeding. And I'm so proud of him. I love Jason Dominguez, my boy. You know I love him. And I will fight for him every time. But I totally agree with you, Ace. And I was going to say the same thing. Would you rather have 2 mid players by putting Jazz at third and keeping DJ at second? Or would you rather have 1 really good plus defender and a mid player at third? Obviously, you want to have 1 good guy, and especially in the middle. You need to have strong defense up the middle. Like, that is so important. And, I mean, look, I think Jazz needs to get moved back for many reasons. I want to keep Jazz happy. He's one of the only guys on the team who is really producing for us right now at the plate. So I want to keep him happy. I want to sign him long term. Go ahead, Hector.
No, I was going to say real quick. Jacob, it may be your end. I just checked my internet connection right now, and I'm connected to the hard wire. So it may be your end because I'm hosting the live. I'm not sure if it's on your end. Folks in the chat, let us know if we're lagging. Let us know if there's any issues with the stream. Shout out to old Sarge that's in the building. Jason Custodio, it's here. Go ahead, Grace. Sorry about that.
Jazz is who the franchise should want to keep happy, not DJ LeMahieu, who is 36. Father Time, listen, we love you for 2019, but guess what? That was a long time ago, okay? That was injuries and injuries ago. We have Jazz Chisholm under control, who we would hopefully want to extend, who is in the prime of his career and looking to earn a long-term contract with the Yankees or otherwise. He's the one that you prioritize, not DJ LeMahieu. What are we doing?
And Jazz has superstar potential. The only knock on his game is that he's injured, that he can get injured from time to time. He might not play a full season. He's not even going to be that expensive if you extend him. And the biggest thing is we want players that want to be here, that want to put on the pinstripes.
And he wants to be here.
Yep. Yeah, players that rise to the occasion. That he's had big moments for us. He's athletic as hell, and I admire the guy for being thrown in at third base at a position he's never played.
Yes.
He's willing, unlike guys in the past, Gleyber Torres. He's willing to get moved at the same time too. But that all comes down to the Yankee plan, because ultimately, if you hark back to last year, the Yankees wanted to move Gleyber Torres to third base. He didn't want to do it.
Nope.
What kind of insane? Why do the inmates run the asylum here? Like, what aren't we the New York Yankees? If last year you go back and Gleyber Torres doesn't want to play third, sit on the bench. If you're not going to play third, go sit your ass on the bench. It's as simple as that. You're doing what's best for the team, and I feel like the Yankees don't do what's best for the team. Trent Grisham and Ben Rice were great. I'm not trying to knock them at all, but a lot of the first half of the season, we got carried by them. This team got carried by the Rices and the Grishams, and now that they've cooled down, no one else has really stepped up in that spot. It's the reason why we're feeling it. Yankees don't rise to the occasion. These other teams treat us like it's their World Series. When do we get up for a team like teams get up for us?
Yeah.
They're chilling.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's another game.
Gleyber is also the starting second baseman for the upcoming All-Star game, so that's very exciting. I know a lot of Yankee fans are happy for that. He's hitting over 280 at the moment. But again, when you look at the team,
something?
Go ahead.
I just want to say that I voted for Gleyber Torres for All-Star, and that's called growth.
That's called
No,
maturity.
I did.
respect.
And let me tell you, I don't hate him as a person. And he's having a great year. He deserves to go play for the American League All-Star team. And good for him. I'm happy for him. I don't want him back. I still don't want him back. I think they made the right choice. He didn't play like this in New York. He plays like this in Detroit. Good for him. You know what I mean? Like,
He played like that in New York when he first came up.
Did.
yeah, that was a long time ago.
When he first came up, it was just the last 3 years that were very bad. But again, folks in the chat, we got over 100 people watching us collectively, over 45 on YouTube. If you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get the likes to as close as we can to 50. So just hit that like button. And Ace, I know you're going to enjoy this, right? Because you're somebody who is big into movies and TV shows like I am, right? And we understand plot armor. And sometimes TV shows, when the plot armor is going to plot armor, it's going to plot armor. And when L.I. Yankee King is going to L.I. Yankee King, he's going to fucking L.I. Yankee King. So when L.I. says no one wants to have the conversation that we don't need Stanton or LeMahieu anymore. And this is the comment that Jacob Petruzzi was pointing out to earlier. So shout out to the chat. I appreciate you guys. But this is why I'm going to say that. And we're going to have the conversation just on it just for a little bit. When you look at both Stanton and LeMahieu, both of them are veterans. Both of them are past their prime. They're not the versions of their best years. Those best years are behind them. When you look at their contract situation, it makes more sense and it's more reasonable that the Yankees could waive DJ LeMahieu before trying to do that with Giancarlo Stanton. The New York Yankees are not going to take the $100 million that is owed to Giancarlo Stanton and Bobby Bonilla him. The Yankees are not going to Bobby Bonilla Giancarlo Stanton. That's not going to happen. So when we're having this conversation, Stanton was great for us in the postseason. And the Yankees front office is banking on Giancarlo Stanton to do the same thing. I look at DJ LeMahieu more as a liability than Giancarlo Stanton. And Kirshner put out an article about it. And when you look at it real quick, hold on, I got it right here. But basically, when you look at, sorry about that, Grace. When you look at the DJ LeMahieu situation, the Yankees right now, they are catering to DJ LeMahieu because DJ LeMahieu apparently said that I don't want to play third base, that he wants to be at second base, that he is a second baseman. And when Gleyber Torres did that, to Grace's point, when she brought it up, Yankee fans crucified him. But for some reason, the front office is not dragging DJ LeMahieu under the bus the way that they did Gleyber Torres. And I know Aaron Judge, the captain, is probably fond of DJ LeMahieu, probably friends with DJ LeMahieu. But for me, you was friends with Alex Verdugo. That ain't work out. You told the Yankees front office to bring back Anthony Rizzo after the whole concussion. That ain't work out. When it comes to DJ LeMahieu, Judge, I love the fact that you're loyal. Loyalty is something that goes a long way. That's why me and Grace are besties. Loyalty, bingo, bingo, bingo. But when it comes to DJ LeMahieu, Ace pointed it out. Teams are taking the extra bag on him when he's the cutoff man. People know he has no lateral movement going left to right. DJ LeMahieu is hurting your team more than he is helping your team being at second base. Grace put it out there. Jazz Chisholm is a Gold Glove defender. You put him at second base, he could win a Gold Glove. DJ LeMahieu it's overwhelmingly how bad he is at that position defensively. He has cost us in the past month probably like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 games, if not more. The same way how Anthony Volpe has been horrible defensively, DJ LeMahieu has been horrible as well.
Yeah.
We have a saying. Let me know if y'all have ever heard this one. This is in regard to them telling DJ, we need you to play third, and him saying, well, I want to play second. Well, this is what you would say in the South. Tough titty, said the kitty when the milk ran dry. Have y'all ever heard that one?
No.
Tough titty, said the kitty when the milk ran dry. That means get over it. Get over it. Yeah, shit happens and you have to move on. So, let me say that Eddie, who might be in the chat, I'm not sure, sent me a message last night on Twitter and said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but Grace, all your dreams could come true. And I'm like, what's up? What's going on? And he let me know that Josh Young, who I've been saying for over a year, that I would love to have him on the Yankees play third base, got sent down to AAA. Okay, so where am I going with this? I looked up some numbers, okay, because I said, holy crap, what in the world would make Josh Young get sent down to AAA? So let me tell you what would make Josh Young get sent down to AAA. Bruce Bochy. And listen, I am not an Aaron Boone hater, okay? I'm also not an Aaron Boone lover, okay? I'm a New York Yankees lover, okay? But let me tell you, Bruce Bochy does not give a shit who you are, where you come from. I don't care who you are. Remember that song? Anybody? Okay.
As long as you love me.
Y'all got to live. Okay, thank you.
Come on,
y'all will not hang me out to dry on that. But he doesn't care who you are, what your past is, if you won the World Series, Josh Young. If you are a former All-Star, Josh Young. If you are struggling, I'm about to send you down to AAA to work on your swing and get your mechanics straight, and then you can come back. And that's exactly what happened. Bruce Bochy doesn't fuck around when it comes to the lineup either. He dropped Marcus Semien way down in the lineup when he was hitting leadoff for them and hitting at the top of their lineup for a while.
And making big money.
Making big money. Good point, Hector. They're paying him a lot of money. And Bruce Bochy does not care. You're not hitting, you're moving down, period. And it's just like that. And I looked up the numbers because I said, wait a minute. Everybody's hating on Anthony Volpe. And nobody would ever think, any diehard Yankees fan ever think that Anthony Volpe has ever been in a discussion to send him back down to AAA to work on anything? No. We all know they're not going to do that. They have virtually the same numbers over the last month. Anthony Volpe has hit 2 more home runs than Josh Young. But virtually every other metric is the same. And Josh Young has been sent down by a serious organization that's not fucking around. And the Yankees are kissing Anthony Volpe's ass. Telling him, no, he's an elite shortstop in the post-game interviews. And Volpe's out there saying, no, I'd make that play again. Yep, I'd do that again. And nothing is going to be done. So what are we doing?
It's just as simple as this. The Yankees have no leadership. They let the players run shit, and it's as simple as that. Like it's not bad for he's in year 2.5, right? He hasn't even finished year 3 yet. The Orioles sent down Jackson Holiday when he was struggling. I think it's too late now. The Yankees aren't going to do it because they don't want to be proven wrong. They're going to ride this out because they want to be the smartest people in a room. They think they know things because the analytical nerds run shit over there. They think they know things that we don't. So they're going to ride this out whether it flies or it crashes and burns. As simple as that. The same thing they're doing with DJ LeMahieu. They're going to ride out the DJ LeMahieu experience because, one, from a management standpoint, he's getting paid a lot of money, and they don't want to waste that on the bench. It's as simple as that. But ultimately, it's at the detriment of the team. You can't keep putting these guys out there like Hector was talking about with Giancarlo Stanton. At least we get some value out of Giancarlo Stanton. Look what happened yesterday. Big home run. We know what he does in the playoffs. The Yankees are also looking at it like, he's 70 home runs away from 500. That's a business decision that the Yankees are making too, because you don't think you want him to hit 500 in a Yankee uniform, how much money that'll bring into the stadium? It all matters with that. DJ LeMahieu has no value. What value does he have outside of being Judge's boy? If Judge is making these decisions, he's a terrible GM. After baseball, you need to retire, dude. Spend time with your kids because you're a terrible GM. If Alex Verdugo, Rizzo, and LeMahieu are on your team.
Young and Volpe have been in the league the same amount of time. And one of them has a World Series ring and an All-Star appearance, and the other one doesn't.
Yeah, I want to bring something up because this is something that during the Dodgers game, right? Well, watching the highlights from like around the league, Max Muncy got injured yesterday, right? With a slide going at the third base from forgot who it was, somebody from the White Sox, center fielder. But Max Muncy came up. Max Muncy is going to be out for the rest of the season, it looks like. And immediately when I saw that injury, I was like, they go to trade for Eugenio Suarez. And now big time Jerry in the chat saying that his replacement is going to be Suarez, somebody that the Yankees could have targeted in the offseason, somebody that the Yankees may have had on their radar for the trade deadline, right? When you bring up third base, when you bring up this team, we are, and Jerry put it in the chat as well, we are 17-30 since Oswaldo got injured.
I miss him, man. I really do.
17. And where was Oswaldo playing? At third base.
Yep. Playing
at league average third base, right? And ever since he got injured, the offense has gone down. Not saying that Oswaldo Cabrera was the straw that stirred the drink, but you understand what I'm saying. He's the heart and soul of that team. He is the guy in the locker room keeping everybody together when you're going through a bad spell like this, right? When it comes to defense, this team has been horrible. You bring up Anthony Volpe, right? Anthony Volpe, since June 1st, 194, 276 on base percentage, 355 slugging. His WRC plus is below league average, 71. His FWAR is 0.1. Brutal numbers. Over his past 50 at-bats, Anthony Volpe has a 140 batting average. And in that time span, in that frame, he has the most errors in all of Major League Baseball.
Oh, God.
It's the arrogance that gets me. It's the arrogance of it.
And there's no repercussion.
And
no accountability.
No.
But to your point, right, Ace, Grace, you brought it up, how Anthony Volpe said in the post-game presser with the media that, I would have made that throw again. That's not what Yankee fans want to hear. The reason why Yankee fans hold up Derek Jeter and put him on a pedestal is the fact that whenever he messed up, he held himself accountable. He would say, I shouldn't have done that. That was an error. I should have never done that. Not sticking and standing 10 toes down. Why do Yankee fans, right? Minus L.I. Yankee King, because he's the only Yankee fan that don't love Giancarlo Stanton. But Ace and Grace, that rhymes. Why do Yankee fans love Giancarlo Stanton so much?
Because he holds himself accountable. And
he holds himself accountable, even when he struggles, even though he probably never lived up to that contract that we traded for from the Marlins. He's had his struggles. What has he said after every game whenever he messed up? That's on me. I should have came through. The fans have every right to boo me because I'm struggling right now. I suck right now. That if you go out there and struggle, but we hear that from you, we're going to defend you. And we're like, all right, copy. You're seeing what we're seeing. You're not trying to pull the wool over our lives and tell us that, that's rain, when it's actually you're peeing on us from the top floor.
That's what Boone does. That's why I'm frustrated with him. Go ahead, Grace.
Isn't he the one who said, I would probably boo me too? Isn't he the one who said that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he keeps it real. He's honest. He keeps it real and he's honest. That's all we're not stupid baseball fans, unfortunately for y'all. No. Unfortunately for y'all, New York Yankees fans actually know the game and know what's going on and expect it to be played the correct way.
Yep.
I got this video clip. This has been circling social media. And y'all remember when this was. Y'all remember when this was.
Please play this.
Volpe kind of crushing it this year. Are you going to be up? He does produce hitters.
I reviewed the movies in front of me. The movies this year weren't good.
Okay,
if
so
the movies are good, next year we'll have a different discussion.
All right, and then I can hear you say, you know what? Remember last year I look forward to that. I look forward to you telling me that when Volpe crushes it offensively this year for us, that you'll say, "Hey, man, I guess your development program did a good job." And it was just sea legs under him his first maiden voyage year with not much triple A under his belt. I mean, I feel it's pretty basic. Let's see how. So,
And legend has it, he's still waiting.
Clip that.
we need that song that and this is it when you ready take it away and be hopeful and it'll just have on the Brian Cashman and he's still waiting for Anthony Volpe to have that breakout season.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like,
Oh my
and that's what
gosh.
it comes down to with this team. Like this team, it's like they don't smell their own stuff, man. At the end of the day, they think that they know more than everybody. Heck, you saw what I sent you. The Boone bullshit bingo. You saw what I sent you.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exactly what it's like every single night.
I forgot to bring that up.
Is it so bad of a manager? Like I understand, like there are levels to this, right? You don't want to completely throw your players under the bus, but aren't there levels where you could be like, yeah, we're playing bad right now. We hope that we get it together. As a player, like Giancarlo Stanton, I'm playing terribly right now. I need to find ways to get it going to help my team win. No, the Yankees make excuses after excuses after excuses. It's right in front of us. We're right there. It's about the fields, everything. Like they're just all over the place. Judgy's so close. Like stop feeding us, because like Grace said, Yankee fans are some of the most intelligent fans out there. We know baseball. It feels like they're trying to lie to us, and instead of just being honest and saying, yo, we're bad right now, we're playing bad, we're gonna hope to get better, they just keep feeding us the same old BS.
I just got to say real quick. Real quick. Again, shout out to the chat. We got over 100 people in the building. We got 45 on YouTube. We're sitting at 30 likes. Hit that like button, por favor. Help us out. Appreciate all the moderators that's in the chat. But folks, if we can, I'm getting moderators texting me. Shout out to the mods. I'm not gonna say your name. Please be respectful to people in the chat. Let's be respectful. I'm not going to say no names or anything like that, but stop telling people to shut the F up if you don't agree with anybody, because I'm seeing those chats. They're being sent to me. Stop it. If you don't agree with somebody in the chat, you don't got to respond to them, right? This chat, I appreciate all of you guys. I love all of you guys being a part of this conversation. But one thing I do not tolerate is people being disrespectful to one another. Again, that messes with my autism. People in the chat, if you have the tism, you understand what I'm saying. So let's just have a great conversation. We may not agree on anything, but if there's one thing we do agree on is the New York Yankees. No matter how we agree on it, we just are Yankee fans. So por favor, if we can. My fault, Ace. Go ahead, bro.
No, you good, man. No, everybody wants to be respectful. We want to make this a good place for everybody. But yeah, man, the team is just going through it right now, man. And it doesn't feel like, and it's frustrating, because we see this year after year after year, and it feels like there's no way out, and we know how this story ends. As somebody that watches movies, I've seen this movie before. So we're just having it on repeat. So what's going to change? Realistically, it doesn't feel like things are going to change until you start acknowledging that there is a problem, and it's the upper management. You don't want to fire Cashman? Sure. Promote him to a different job. Bring in somebody else that has fresh new ideas, that type of stuff. You don't want to fire Aaron Boone? You should. In my opinion, I'm sure Aaron Boone is a good guy. The players love him, but I just don't think he's the guy to be able to get us over the hump. Because I watched night in and night out Boone constantly get outmanaged by the bigger teams, not holding players accountable, that type of stuff. The inconsistencies that we're seeing every single day, it just doesn't feel like a baseball team.
Yep, they're not playing as a team. Exactly. I totally agree, Ace. It's not a unit, and I feel like, if I want to get
not you, Merc, it's not you, Merc. I just want to say, Merc's so saucy in the chat. It's not you, bro.
If I want to get really dark and I want to let myself go there, Aaron Judge's prime has been totally squandered and wasted, and it's a damn shame that one of the greatest players of all time, maybe the greatest hitter of our generation, maybe a lot of things, right? And his prime has been absolutely wasted so far. I mean, I feel bad for him. Like, I love him and I love the Yankees, but I'm like, damn, maybe you should have gone somewhere else, because this is stupid. Like, this is ridiculous. He is going out there every night playing out of his mind. And if he doesn't play at that level, the team is absolutely does nothing. They have to have Aaron Judge bat 400 and hit 60 home runs a year to even make it into the wild card or sneak into the postseason, just to get swept or lose or go to the World Series and be totally embarrassed. Okay? And we require him to play at that otherworldly level every night in order to get there. They haven't put the pieces around him necessary to exact a legacy like Aaron Judge deserves to have. 22 intentional walks so far this year. It's not even the All-Star break. The franchise record is 23 in 1957. You tell me why none of the other major sluggers that have played for the New York Yankees since 1957, not Reggie Jackson, not Bernie Williams, not Alex Rodriguez, name me some sluggers. Curtis Granderson that year, like all these sluggers, none of them.
I got a question because you just that whole little diatribe you went on just sparked something in my brain, and I want to get you and Ace's thoughts on it, right? When you brought up Reggie Jackson, right? They went to the World Series and won, right? Who did Reggie Jackson have?
What do you mean? Like
who was Thurman Munson? Was also in that lineup. It wasn't just built around Reggie Jackson, right? In the 90s, when you had Bernie Williams and Paul O'Neill and Tito Martinez, the offense wasn't built around just one person, right? When we had Alex Rodriguez, even though we won in 2009, it wasn't just built around Alex Rodriguez. It was Mark Teixeira as well. Why was Don Mattingly one of the only Yankee captains that never went to the World Series and won a championship? Because he had no one else around him. And the Yankees are treating Aaron Judge the same way they treated Don Mattingly in the 80s, not putting the right pieces around him to maximize his stats. When you look at Aaron Judge's past 3 to 4 or 5 years, right? Every year he has put up historic numbers. Last year when he had Juan Soto, he had one of the best seasons of his career because he had another thumper in the lineup. You would think that, oh my God, an MVP candidate hitting 62 home runs every year, putting up historic numbers that haven't been seen in Major League Baseball for year after year after year. You would think the Yankees would have over 110 wins at least in one of those seasons over the past 3 to 4 years, but we haven't because we have had no one else next to Aaron Judge. We built this lineup around Aaron Judge, and this lineup is an Aaron Judge bust. It's a home run or bust lineup.
And let me finish my point. That's exactly where I'm going is why has Aaron Judge been walked almost the franchise record since 1957, and it's not even the All-Star break yet? Why? Why has he been walked more than all those sluggers that we were talking about, Hector? The reason is because they know that if they take Aaron Judge out of the equation, the Yankees are dead on arrival. It's no secret.
Yeah.
So that's why. And
Hey,
like Hector said, there were other people in those lineups to back them up. That's why they didn't get intentionally walked as many times as Aaron Judge. That's why Aaron Judge is getting walked.
Well, because Yankees also don't want to go over that threshold either with the money, because and that goes to show me that you're not all in to do what you have to do to win. Even if you want to date back to last year, right? And I hate bringing this up. You had Juan Soto on a 1-year rental. Ultimately, you didn't go all in at the deadline like you were supposed to, realistically, because it's not guaranteed. The Yankees in this, and you're talking about wasting Aaron Judge. I throw in another one. You're wasting Garrett Cole as well. And Garrett Cole is not getting any younger. You're also wasting Giancarlo Stanton as well. Like, you're not doing this team doesn't feel like they make the all-in moves. It feels like they know that we can roll out of bed and make the playoffs, and that's good enough for this organization sometimes. If you want to talk about this from a business standpoint, look at how much money you brought in just from making the World Series last year. Imagine if you won it. Like, is that not the business motto? To get to the next level, like, go all in, do what you got to do. Screw the $300 million tax. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for us to say because it's not our money. It ultimately is. But, Hal's got to explain to these stockholders why, it warrants the fact that you're spending this money, why this team continues to flame out year after year around the same time. It's no coincidence. It is a common denominator. I look at it in simple math. What is the common denominator? It's either Aaron Judge or Aaron Boone. Which one? Those are the problems. If we're going to absolve Aaron Judge, then you got to blame Aaron Boone. or Cashman for how the lineup is constructed. Like I like the infusion of young players, no doubt. Like the Rices have been good. Volpe, for the most part has been okay. Austin Wells is kind of, it's just the Yankees got to find these players and they got to hit, man. Because outside of Aaron Judge, we don't really hit on these prospects, and they may give us moments or two here and there, but ultimately it's not like it should be. Like it's not panning out, and that's an organizational thing.
Yeah. When you look at the organization, top to bottom, again, you take your wins when you take your wins, and you got to point out the losses, right? When you look at Anthony Volpe, when you look at Austin Wells, they have not lived up to the bill. They've not have lived up to the expectations. We're having conversations in Anthony Volpe's third year, right? And at the beginning of the season, I gave him a grace period. I wanted to see what Anthony Volpe was going to do this season. Erica and I, we had conversations when she was up here. Oh, she just popped in backstage. I'm going to bring up Erica in 2.3 seconds now that I just brought her up. Let me just move this around. Hola, Erica. I miss you. I hope all is well. But when you look at both Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells, a championship is built up the middle, right? That's why we fell in love with the teams from the 90s, because when you look at up the middle, we had Joe Girardi, right? Then we had Jorge Posada. Then we had Bernie Williams in center, Derek Jeter, and then we had Chucky Knobloch until Chucky Knobloch couldn't throw it to first base, and then we had to move him to the outfield. But championships are built up the middle, and when you look at the Yankees up the middle, right now we have Austin Wells. We have a platoon of catchers right now. Austin Wells, J.C. Escara, and Ben Rice. Then you got Anthony Volpe. Then you got DJ LeMahieu. And then you got a toss-up every night. Now that Trent Grisham is back, maybe it'll be Trent Grisham or Cody Bellinger in center field.
And I want to give credit to Erica, because I remember early in the season, Erica had some, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but had some concerns about Anthony Volpe's defense. And I remember her coming up and saying it, and me being like, of all the things that this is almost the exact quote of myself, I remember. Of all the things that I'm worried about, Anthony Volpe's defense is way down here. And I thought about that the other day, and I'm like, oh, Lord, I got to give credit to Erica, because she was one of the first that was on it. She noticed a trend that she had growing concern about. Not an alarm bell, but growing concern about from the beginning of the season. So, I mean, and now here we are, right?
I don't even remember that. I'm a little sick, or a lot of sick, but I had to, when you sent me the link, I had to come in because I'm tired. I'm so tired of watching the Yankees get a hot start and then play average baseball. This new version of the playoffs allows mid teams to get in. It continues to protect Cashman, and the Yankees continue to use the excuse of being able to get into the playoffs and just not get it done. You're a $300 million team. Like, I'm just not understanding it. Why don't we have a third baseman? I've been complaining about it since the offseason, since the season started. It's been my biggest gripe. Why don't we have one? Why are we still playing guys out of position? Jazz should be at second base. I don't care what DJ LeMahieu feels more comfortable at. That's your problem. You created that issue. Like, I just don't get it. Why don't we make adjustments? Why are we so bad with runners in scoring position? You know, we started off pretty good with runners in scoring position at the beginning of the season when we were doing well. And then since then, it just fell off. Why are we so bad in extra innings, right? And then to use this excuse that on the road you need to score 2, that makes more sense. Like, you're not scoring any. Like, why don't you make those adjustments? Why can't you climb back into games? And then when you finally do climb back into a game, it's one that you start down 8-0. Right? I'm so mad that the Yankees came back yesterday because it almost protected Boone again. It protected him in that press conference to be like, oh, my guys are fighting back. Like, no, dude, like, you shouldn't even be put into these positions, right? Like, how are we about to get swept by a team that was chasing us? Like, I just don't understand. He's got to go. Cash has got to go. It's not going to happen, but they're the common denominators. You know, for you to say, you know, the Dodgers deal with the same amount of injuries that the Yankees do. If anything, on worse. But they still get to play 600 baseball. I'm tired of looking at the standings, and they're still playing 600 ball. Like, it just, something isn't sitting right with me, and it has to be, like, and I've given Cashman his flowers, I've given Boone his flowers when they deserve them, but they are the common denominator, because this team is good. This is a good team. I'm glad that it's so balanced. I'm glad that they made the moves that they did, but something just still isn't clicking, and it's just exhausting to watch because they're going to do well enough to make it to the playoffs, guys. It's going to happen. They're going to have, at some point, a hot streak, right? You're going to call it that's baseball or whatever, but they're going to lose the same reasons that they've continued to lose year over year over year. They have one World Series appearance in 15 years. You have one World Series in 25 years. Like, this is crazy. $300 million payroll. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, and they
for $20 at the stadium. Go ahead, Grace. Sorry.
They need a championship if they want to continue to capitalize off of a championship level brand, which is what they sell the fans. And they make more money than all the other baseball teams because they have the legacy, because they tell everyone, oh, well, we're the best. If you like winning, you should be a Yankees fan. We always win. We're always in the postseason, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? That has an expiration date, and it's coming up. It's giving Dallas Cowboys. It's giving, we make so much money because we're the best, except we don't win anything anymore. So remember when we were good, guys? Yeah, we're gonna release a throwback jersey from when we were really good and go buy that, okay? And don't worry about what we do now, because what they do is they make the moves that are just enough to shut us up, just enough to say, oh well, we did acquire a big starting pitcher in the offseason. We didn't do anything else, but we did acquire a big starting pitcher in the offseason. They don't do as much as the Dodgers do. The Dodgers go out, they say, oh, you're good? Sign him, sign him, sign him, sign him, sign him, sign him. We all watched the notifications this offseason. Sorry, I'm on a rant. We all watched the notifications on this offseason. Boom, free agent went to the Dodgers. Boom, free agent went to the Dodgers. Boom, free agent went to the Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers. We were all sick to death of it. I know I was. How come the Yankees aren't out there making moves like that? We have money. You telling me we don't have money?
Yeah, that's true. Since when did we become a poverty franchise? That's what I want to know. Because, like, it just seems like, imagine if they didn't have imagine if they weren't in New York and didn't have a $300 million budget. They would be getting exposed. As simple as that. I talk to my nephew about this all the time. He's 25 years old. There's a whole new generation of people that are growing up that have never really experienced a Yankee championship. You're going to have a whole bunch of new kids that are out there growing up that won't even become Yankee fans because this is just a bad brand of baseball that continues to flame out year after year after year. And they're okay with it because they're looking at the bottom line. We're somewhat competitive, and maybe we can luck into one and maybe win one. Maybe we can get to the World Series and maybe get us over the hump instead of actually putting your best foot forward and pushing it out there, because, you know, it's frustrating, especially because we all love the Yankees. Look around at all four of us. We all have Yankee brands all around us. We spend money on the team. This team doesn't have enough to go out there and like Hector was saying, Hector, you go to the ballpark. How much is it? How expensive is it with parking, food, everything?
Expensive.
And this team, expensive. And I feel bad for the people that got to go out there and watch this shit. Like, legit, you paying all this money to watch this team, not even put in effort, not even put in heart. That's not pinstripes. The pride of the pinstripes really feels like it doesn't exist anymore at times. And like I said, it starts at the top and it trickles all the way down. Aaron Judge, you know what I'm saying? He's not absolved from this either. Like, he's more of a lead by example type guy. Granted, we don't know, in all fairness, we don't know what really goes on behind the scenes, but you can see it because it's the same stuff that happens year after year. So what are you really doing? One ear and out the other is what this team feels like. And as a fan, it's so frustrating because at times it feels like we give more of a F than they do.
Yeah, and it's hard because you could call us spoiled all you want. Like, I love that we get to see a competitive team year over year that, you know, like when you compare us to like a team like the Marlins or the A's or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, in that aspect, yeah, we're spoiled. But like Grace said, we're smart fans, and it's just the same stuff, same nonsense year over year, and we see it. We see it like 5 steps ahead of them. It feels like I said, the third base situation. This has been a glaring issue for years. How have we not just addressed it? And then the way that you lost in the World Series last year, that's left such a bad taste in my mouth, and now for it to continue to happen in regular season play, with especially with an AL East that is extremely average, like, we should be running away with it with the team that's out there on paper. And I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. I really didn't even want to watch the game yesterday. I really didn't. And then I saw that they were down 7-0, and it was just kind of like background. And then I'm like, oh wow, they're actually coming back. That's cool. And then for us to lose in the same BS that we were losing in April, which is a blown save. Like, and I don't even blame Devin Williams. Like, our bullpen is so depleted, but it's just like, you know, like what I'm wasting my time. I watch certain games where I'm just like, wow, that was a waste of 2.5 hours. Like, I literally just watched the Yankees roll over base to the third baseman or the second baseman all night, or strike out 11 times. Like, this is all, and it's analytical. Like, it has to be because they're not making adjustments. They're just going based on what Clint Frazier said. Like, to me, ruined baseball a little bit, because it makes it feel like I'm watching robots out there. Continue to take the same approach, and the probability is that you will be 250 at the end of the season if you continue to take that approach. Doesn't matter. No situational hitting. Just keep taking that same approach. And at the end of the season, you will be 250, which is what the statisticians or what the analytics team said that you would be at this point. Like, that's what it feels like to me. And I don't know if I'm going crazy, but that's what it feels like to me.
No, you're not going crazy at all. And something that we didn't even bring up when he was talking about Anthony Volpe, and I don't think it got brought up during like the pre or post game press conference, or I don't think any of the media members asked him. If they did, somebody let me know. But I'm bringing this up. Do you guys see what Anthony Volpe posts on his Instagram? This is on Anthony Volpe's Instagram.
What? Is that real?
After the throwing era.
Yeah, well, if you don't care, hit the bench.
Is that real?
We want people
Is
that.
that real?
This is from several accounts. Several people are saying that this was real. That this was actually real.
Look, I get that there's a certain, when it comes to New York City, the media can be tough, and us as content creators can be tough too. I get that there's a certain, you have to not care, but this is a bad look. You can't go out there, and you're not going to beat us as fans. There's way too many of us that you're going to go out there and start, turn people already against you. Now you're just going to start royally pissing people off. So.
Well, guess what? If you don't care, why should we care? And you know who pays the bills? Guess what? It's not Hal Steinbrenner. It's us. It's us. We're the backbone of the franchise. And if we stop caring, watch. Bet. Just piss me off. Just piss me off just enough. Bet.
It'll never happen. They're such a storied
I want to say
franchise.
one thing about what Erica said real quick. If we were losing games because we were getting outplayed, that would be one thing. If we were losing games because we were facing incredible starting pitchers, Paul Skeens, Turek Skubal, okay? If we had no shot, to win this game, and we were losing, that's one thing. It's the way we're losing the games. It's like what Erica brought up. The wild pitches, the pass balls, giving away free bases, bad defense. We're beating ourselves like we did in the World Series on the biggest stage. It was humiliating. That's why we're upset. And nothing is changing. There's no repercussions. There's no consequences. And we're just expected to keep watching, keep spending money endlessly.
I got this video here. This is from Gary Sheffield talking about baseball players today.
Said the brand of baseball that we're watching, it's not the players' fault. That's what they're asking for. They're asking these guys to go up here, hit home runs, swing with this uppercut, and that's it. I talk to a lot of kids, and when I talk to them, they have no, and I mean zero understanding about hitting. I remember I went and took this kid on the mentorship dinner. I said, "What happened on this 1-1 count?" And he said, well, they want us swinging on that count no matter what. So basically, they got a scouting report that's set up that says when you get to this count, we want you to swing no matter what. I said the brand of baseball that we're watching, it's not the players' fault. That's what they're asking for. They're asking these guys.
So how can you blame the players when that is what is being taught to them?
That's what I'm saying. That's why it feels. That's what it feels like. It's gonna be like, it's crazy. Like I listened to that and I'm thinking of basketball. Like there's a reason why European basketball players are so good now, because they focus so much on the small fundamentals, and then they bring it over here, and the American kids, they play AA or AAU or whatever. They just play games. They don't focus on the fundamentals. And and then the European stars like just stand out so bright, and that just reminds me of kind of like the Japanese players, because I feel like over there they're focusing on the little things and batting from the left side because you're going to be closer to first base, and so it's like I don't know. I don't know if there's a comparison there, but that's just what made me think of that, because I'm like, the European players are they're some of the top 10 best players in the league right now, and it's because they focus on those little things. But yeah, it just again like Clint Frazier interview really just kind of opened my eyes to things, and it sucks.
It does because when you look at this team, right, you see how talented a lot of these players are, right? And I make the joke, Anthony Volpe, he probably has more athleticism in his pinky than I do in my entire body, especially with these badass hips and bad back that I have, right? So I understand that Anthony Volpe is a Major League Baseball player. He is an athlete. He's out there on the field for a reason. It's because he could play. But right now, I don't think it's just a Volpe thing. I think this is a league-wide thing, and I think this is a part of the Yankees' just development. It has not been working, right? I think right now, I know it's probably like hindsight is 50-50, but I think we can all agree maybe the Yankees should have kept Anthony Volpe in AAA for just an extra year, give him some more seasoning underneath his belt. Something. You brought him up when he only had how many games at AAA? 25 games, if that.
Well, it doesn't matter if they're not teaching them anything at the AAA level.
Well, to an extent, because like at the AAA level, okay, me and my nephew were talking about this too. Yankees DNA is they fast track players through AAA. Like we've seen it with Austin Wells, Ben Rice, Anthony Volpe. Logically, to me it makes sense where AAA are the MLB ready players that are either on the cusp of coming to the pros or don't necessarily have a spot, or you're playing against pro guys that are rehabbing down there, right? So wouldn't it make sense that you get the most experience against those type of guys that are right there, instead of them spending the majority of time in AA? They come up to AAA, have a good week, and then they're in the pros. They have no time for development. The Yankees use the analytical approach as like the Bible, a gospel, instead of just a tool to help the team better. Like analytics are nothing but dumb data. They don't really tell you certain situations and what's in a player's heart, what's in a player's mind. It's never going to equate for that type of stuff. So analytics like are too much a part of the game, and it's just part of the Yankee philosophy that they continue to do this stuff. And it's a reason why they say that Aaron Judge is our only like prospect that we've been able to develop to an extent, because he even had to go outside the organization to get his own hitting coach. That's not from us. So what does that tell you? This organization cannot develop players to save their lives.
Yeah.
Have y'all watched any games besides Yankees games? Like, have y'all watched other like random baseball games?
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, tell me, does it look like the same type of home run swing or nothing?
No.
I guess I pay attention at random times. Like usually it's kind of background. But like the runners in scoring position situation seems to be across the board. Extra innings, like the Yankees are really bad. But there's a lot of teams that don't find success the way that we think, like moving the runner over and then just getting them in. Like it's not as easy, I guess, with other teams either. So like I pay attention in those scenarios, or like I'll pay attention to like bullpen, and they struggle as well. So like I do think it is a bit across the board, but I mean, like, you guys said no, so like if
No, I would say when just because of my job with Latino sports, I cover both the Yankees and I have to cover the Met games as well. And watching the Met games, like we know that the Mets, they have Juan Soto, but that team is not built around Juan Soto. It's Francisco Lindor is the motor that makes the engine move. Juan Soto is just another piece to drive in runs, and Aaron Judge doesn't have a Francisco Lindor next to him, right? Aaron Judge is Francisco Lindor. He doesn't have a Juan Soto in that lineup. He doesn't have a Pete Alonso in that lineup. Like Paul Goldschmidt was that for the first month and a half, 2 months of the season, but then he struggled in June, right? Cody Bellinger has started turning it around after he struggled to start the season in the first month. I think if you take Cody Bellinger's first month, remove it away, I think Cody Bellinger is a 300-plus hitter. So Cody Bellinger has started turning it around as well. But when you have holes in your 6th, 7th, 8th, ninth spot in the lineup, when they're not giving Jason Dominguez everyday at bats, when you see when he's out there, he's coming through and he's performing, that's where the Yankees are at right now. Right. The difference between the Yankees and the Mets is the Mets, they had their young catching prospect Francisco Alvarez struggling. And what they did, they sent him down to AAA because they have another catcher. They have another catcher on the team, former Yankee, and Luis Torrens as a starting catcher right now.
What about the defense? What does the defense look like for other teams?
Oh, much better.
Much better. Especially watching Francisco Lindor play shortstop for the New York Mets, I lose my mind. My mind because he doesn't just make the regular play, he makes the exceptional play. And I'm not asking Anthony Volpe to make that exceptional highlight web gem play every night. Just make the average major league play. That's all I'm asking you to do.
Yeah, because when it comes down to it's just a fundamental thing. The Yankees don't have the fundamentals. As simple as that.
Exactly.
The outfield defense has been fine this year. It hasn't been the glaring weakness. Definitely the infield, playing guys out of position. You playing Jazz out of position. Look at what happened a couple of years ago, and it just comes down to the Yankees just think they're smarter. You bring in a guy like IKF, Gold Glover at third base. Let's put him in the outfield. What sense does that make? Like, it makes zero sense. Other teams, when watching MLB baseball all around the league, it just seems like they do the little things. They hit the cutoff man. They keep the ball in front of them. Offensively, they're playing small ball. And when they get a runner on second to start the game, they're moving them over to third. A productive outscores a run. How many times do we see the Yankees for second and third, nobody out? You know a strikeout's coming. You know 2 strikeouts are coming. You know a pop-up is coming. Run doesn't score. And it's the little things. Like, to guys that are struggling, you're at the bottom of the order. And it's up to Aaron. I hate to keep putting on Aaron Boone, but it's up to Aaron Boone to manufacture runs the way other managers do. When you have a position to steal runs with the bottom of the order, bunt guys over. If you trust this guy to hit to hit it to the right side to move a guy from second to third, the little things, the sack flies, which Yankees do lead when it comes to that. But little things like that will make you feel like a ball player again. You know, you get in the dugout, you're high-fiving guys, you feel good. You're not taking that to your next at bat. Instead, and the Yankees just keep looking for the long ball. Look at yesterday's ball game. Blue Jays got off to a big start against us. We ended up coming back. The big blast was Giancarlo Stanton, but we scored our first run by 3 singles. Doing 3 singles will get you a run. Aaron Judge almost went yard with a double, and then the big blast came from Giancarlo Stanton. Then once we got back in the game, it seemed like everybody was swinging for the fences. Everybody's looking for, and I say this all the time, you will never get an 8-run home run. And it seems like that's what the Yankees look for, and it's about their approach at the end of the day. The philosophy is messed up.
From what I've seen, I haven't watched too many games that the Yankees weren't playing in, but the ones that I have happened to watch, it looks to me just from the eye test. And again, I'm going back to a point I made early in the pod today, that other teams on defense function as a unit. They function as a team. They know, I know if the ball's hit towards me, my boy is going to be right behind me and I'm going to flip it to him and I don't even have to think about it. It's second nature. I'm on autopilot because I know the guy who's playing to the left of me and the guy who's playing to the right to me so well. I know their tendencies. I know what they can cover, what I need to cover, and they are just fluid and smooth. And I don't see that on the Yankees because Jazz is playing out of position. He's in his brain. He's trying to do his best. He's a great athlete. And I'm not here to hate on Jazz, but he's doing his best. But he's got to think. That split second, I'm talking about that nanosecond that Jazz has to spend thinking is what costs you when you're compared to a third baseman who's on autopilot, or a second baseman, or a shortstop. These guys who are playing out of position, who maybe day to day the lineup is so different, they don't even know who's going to be playing second base today, who's going to be playing first base today, who's going to be catching the fucking game today. I mean, I'm talking about inconsistencies across the board will not allow them to gel. It will never work. It will never allow them to settle, to gel, and to function as a team.
I want us to cheer up, right, a little bit, because this is all have been doom and gloom. But I'm gonna add some more sadness to it. Because Erica brought up 2009, right? 1 championship in the past 25 years. Do you know how long ago 2009 was?
16 years ago.
I have an iPhone now. 2009, I had a BlackBerry. Blackberries aren't around anymore. That's how long ago 2009 is.
What was the #1 song in 2009? Anybody know?
Oh, off top of, no.
Was it Black Eyed Peas? Got a feeling?
Boom 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 boom
Or
pow.
Boom Boom
Black
Pow?
Eyed
Yeah,
Peas.
yeah.
Oh no.
Gotta get that boom boom bam.
How did I know
Oh,
that?
no.
How did I know that?
Yeah, how
Because
did you know that, Erica?
championship meant so much to me that I remember
Yep.
vividly everything that was going on.
The Yankees need that boom boom pow right about now because they struggling, man.
Dude, it's
Delulu-
bad.
Delulu in the chat said, I do. I was a freshman in high school. I pay bills now.
Ooh,
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
Yeah,
we've hit our
Delulu,
boiling
you might
point.
be collecting your 401k before the next championship. So
gosh.
And I don't want to get like doom and gloom and get sad, but Real Bill's Pod, they put this earlier in the chat. He says, I'm almost 68 years old. If they don't fix this, I'm afraid that I may never get to experience a World Series championship with my grandkids, with my grandson, bruh.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't mean to be a dick. That's the perfect sound for that. But goddamn, you just made me sad.
That's tough, man. Yo,
You
being
do it
a
for
New
real,
York
Bill,
sports
Yankees.
fan, just a New York sports fan in general, is just kind of like the feeling all around. Because
Word. The Knicks hired Mike Brown, but now I got a notification while we were talking that they're interested in Ben Simmons. Erica, I'm
I just don't
bruh,
get it.
what are we
Don't
doing?
get started on the Giants. Don't get started on the Giants.
Oh.
The Jets.
Oh my
None
God.
of it makes sense.
It's
We
the
should
water.
be a title
Something in the water
town.
up there.
Okay, going back to catching, right? Because we're talking about that ninth inning. That eighth inning between Devin Williams and Ben Rice, and I don't blame Devin Williams, because the catching in 2009, and then when you compare it to this year, they do not. It's not the same. They want their catchers to be on one knee. And when you have catchers on one knee, I don't care who it is. It could be JT Realmuto. It could be some of the best defenders that are out there. They're not blocking that pitch because of the way that they are setting up. I'm going to show you. This is Benito Santiago. This was an amazing catcher, different level. I'm not expecting Ben Rice to be him, but look at how he's throwing people out from his knees. Look at how he's setting up. Hold on.
That's my GOAT catcher, by the way.
And now it doesn't want to play for some reason.
just
No,
imagine what it was like.
Standing up cost him valuable time, so he decided to stay low and then let it go.
From his knees.
By a mile.
He can throw, and did you notice that he threw from his knees?
You just can't realize that this guy can do what he can do from his knees.
And in 2025, when you are having catchers set up the way that they're setting up, they're not going to block the ball that's in the dirt. And I don't blame Ben Rice for that. I just blame this is how kids are being taught how to play, because Ace, you brought it up. They want that frame. They want catchers to be able to still a strike from the umpire, because the umpires they can't call balls a strike. This is why we need the automatic strike zone.
Yeah.
Maybe when we get the ABS, maybe after if we've had it for a few years, the trend may start to come back around, just because, it won't be as effective to frame pitches as it was. It'll still be effective a little bit, but it won't be as effective. So maybe we'll see this change in the next few years. I want ABS yesterday. It's Major League Baseball's fault for showing us how well it worked in spring training. And now it's your fault. We all want it, and we're being impatient. But thank God we'll probably have it next year. So
I don't know if it's me, but I just feel like every time I watch the Yankee games, I'm like, if they run, they're not gonna get caught. Whether it's because the pitcher doesn't know how to hold the runner on first, or just like the catcher just doesn't have the arm for it or doesn't have the pop time for it. Since last year, remember Trevino, he couldn't throw anybody out. They would just run all over him. But I don't know if that's
they don't even try.
Is that across the board. Is this catching now? I haven't looked at stats, so I don't know if there's a team that's actually successful at throwing out runners, but it just feels like the Yankees haven't been good at it for a while.
Yeah.
My husband
Well,
asked me
framing
almost
more
the
than anything.
same question last night, Erica. He goes, are any catchers throwing runners out this year? And I said, Carlos Narvaez. and he goes, oh, who does he play for? And I'm like, the Red Sox, formerly a Yankee. Thank you very much. I'm going to bed now. But yeah.
But as far as that situation yesterday, like I said, we talked about this off screen. I don't blame Devin Williams for that. He ended up giving a run without giving up a hit. You had a walk, you had a stolen base, an intentional walk, and then 2 productive outs got home a run, and then 2 productive outs move runners in scoring position, and then the pass ball due to the inexperience of Ben Rice. If you want to blame, I give Aaron Boone credit for bringing in Devin Williams in this situation, because not every situation with the bullpen, you need to bring in your best pitcher for a big situation. You're going against the top of the order in the 8th inning. I'm okay with that because they're throwing out their best. You're throwing out one of your best. It just didn't work. What you should have done was probably bring in JC Escarra in that situation, in a late game situation, because like Heck was saying, I think off screen, or Grace was saying, how much experience do they really have together? This is Ben Rice's less than a handful of games actually catching. Maybe a late game defensive substitution would have paid off a little bit in that situation, but hindsight's 2020. How are we going to respond from that? Are you gonna put this in your back pocket, or are you going to use this as a learning experience?
Well, Ace, to your point earlier, Aaron Boone getting out managed yet again. He should have walked that guy to bring up the righty. And they were even saying it on the broadcast. That's what happens when you don't walk that guy. I can't remember the guy's name, Davis or something like that. Maybe the right fielder for the Jays. I can't remember his name. But he's the one who, made him pay. And Aaron Boone should have walked him.
when
and he didn't.
when you're talking about Aaron Boone, right? One thing that people want Boone to do is like hold players accountable, right? And that's something that we all want to see from Aaron Boone. And I agree with you, Ace, with the whole JC Escarra late game substitution. But I think the reason why we didn't see that is because I think Boone was trying to discipline JC and give him a little bit of tough love because the night before, JC, you could say he kind of cost us that game with that catcher's interference. And this is a moment from that game with Boone talking to JC, and you can see how animated Boone is for a second.
The Astros have won each of those games. Deep conversation between Boone and Escarra between innings. Well, not a conversation. Escarra is listening.
Yes. School is in session.
I like how Scar is locked into the conversation.
Yeah.
He cares.
The Astros have won each of them.
So I'm right there with you, bro. I would like to see JC, but I understand that if that was the reason, I'm not sure it was. Boone never came out. I'm just assuming, right? And when you assume, you make an ass out of me and you. So I'm just assuming that that's why we didn't see JC.
I've never seen Aaron Boone talk to Volpe like that. I was kind of like low-key pissed because I'm on JC Escarra's team. I'm on his side. I want him to do well.
Same.
And he doesn't get a lot of reps and whatever. And yeah, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Like, I get it. Yeah. But to see him get his ass reamed out like that in the dugout in plain sight of the cameras, and Aaron Boone knows what the fuck he's doing. He used to be in broadcasting and he knows. And for him to choose to yell, to be intense with JC Escarra, when I have never seen him be intense with Anthony Volpe. I could name a lot of other
DJ LeMahieu, Josh Donaldson, Anthony Rizzo,
Aaron Hicks,
Aaron Hicks, Alex Verdugo.
And you're gonna pick on JC? Like that didn't sit right with me. I mean, I want consequences. I like the idea, but it's not fair to do it to one guy one time. He made one mistake when he doesn't get regular reps. When you got other guys who need this conversation too. Like, be fair.
100%. What's your thoughts, Erica?
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm totally on board with you. It makes you wonder if it's like JC's inexperience. It makes Boone feel more comfortable to have that conversation with a guy like JC versus, a dude like DJ LeMahieu that's a veteran in the league, which makes you think, like, does, like, I don't know, man. Is he more of a friend to those guys? Like, even Jazz. And I like the idea of having a manager that you can be a friend with, right? But there still has to be that accountability piece of it. And I know Jazz mentioned, like, I'll FaceTime Aaron Boone, and he's like my boy. I'm not supposed to say that, but, because he's a manager. Like, you guys have seen that interview. But, it's tough times like this where it's like, I don't need a friend. I need somebody to, straighten me out. And it is, like, to Grace's point, like, for him to be doing that, on national or on television to JC, who like again just has this story this year, like, you know, a Cinderella story, and a guy that doesn't have as much experience in the league. It just makes you wonder, like, are you picking your bat? Like, are you picking on him? You know, like, just because you feel like maybe you just have more experience over him. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I'm just at a loss, really. I know you were saying something, Ace. My bad, but I'm just at a loss.
Yeah, my
I'm
fault,
really
Ace.
I feel so defeated. Like, I really do.
It just comes to the management thing, because I mean, I know Austin Wells is dealing with the finger circulation. Apparently, Boone was saying he's good to go. You chose to pinch run for him last night. I mean, pinch run for Giancarlo Stanton with him last night, in a situation where we could have possibly used him behind the plate. Instead, you just wasted his appearance, and we didn't even get a chance to really, you know, why couldn't Wells be back there if you said he was good to go?
Yeah.
We should have won the first 2 games when we had our
should've.
2 best pitchers on the mound. And like, yo, it's crazy. It's like if our pitching isn't there, or if our pitching's really good, our offense shuts down. If our offense is really good, our pitching shuts down. Like, if both are good, our bullpen just screws the pooch. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why we can't have like a well-played game from 3 sides of the ball. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I do not know. Like, again, I'm going to keep on going back. When you're playing bad baseball, when you're playing bad basketball, when you're playing bad football, it doesn't matter what sport it is. When you're playing bad, the baseball gods are going to throw a rock in front of you. It's like that scene from Big Daddy when they were in Central Park, throwing sticks in front of the rollerblades. That's what's happening right now. Babe Ruth is throwing sticks in front of us right now. We're on our rollerblades, and the baseball gods are just throwing sticks in front of Aaron Judge and Aaron Boone right now, right? Because everything that can go bad is going bad. So when that issue or that mistake happened with JC Escara, it sticks out like a sore thumb because everything is going bad right now. When you have a ball in the dirt like you had last night with Devin Williams, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb because things are going bad right now. This is what happens when you go through bad ruts. The Yankees just have to figure it out. Somebody in the Yankees front office, stop stepping on cracks, stop breaking mama's backs, and stop throwing. You guys need to throw some salt over your shoulder because somebody got some bad juju over there with the New York Yankees, because everything that could go bad, it's going bad right now.
I think somebody did voodoo on New York baseball in general, because it just doesn't make sense, like how bad both New York baseball teams are right now.
Shout out to my guy Keith Saunders in the chat who says, "Hey guys, I just checked into Bellevue Mental Hospital in case y'all were looking for me." Keith, I think save a room for all of us because we all going to join you over there in Bellevue. My fault.
They're like, "Hi, you're checking in. What are you here for?" Yankees fan. Take a number. Go stand over there. But let me say, before we get off here today, and this has been a great conversation, look, sometimes we need to have these episodes where we just come on and we kind of just help each other feel not alone in this struggle that we're going through right now. And we all love the Yankees. That's why we're here. And it's not easy right now, but we have our community, we have our chat, we have all these beautiful people on the panel today, because we're all in it together. We're all New York Yankees fans at the end of the day, and we love New York Yankees baseball. So with that being said, I do want to say one positive thing, which I mentioned earlier in the stream, was Giancarlo Stanton's return to launching baseballs. If Giancarlo Stanton comes back to us, okay, if the the current all-time home run leader of the current players who is playing right now comes back to us, right? This will be good for Aaron Judge. This will be good for the team. This will be great for the Yankees. I'm going to want to leave it on this note because that was a positive thing. Hector, I just sent you the video of him hitting the home run. If you want to bring it up and play it, that is the positive thing that came out of last night. He came up with runners in scoring position. He worked the count. He launched the ball. And I had my concerns because so far, Giancarlo coming back, I hadn't seen him put a lot of balls in the air. So this was huge. There it is.
Drive, left center, straw back, on the track, turning, looking, see ya.
Oh, man.
First home run of the year.
That's a strong man right there.
A 3-run shot.
That's it. So that's the positivity I wanna bring up as we're nearing the end of the show today. Okay, so I did my part to try to cheer us up.
Thank you.
I appreciate the positivity. I definitely do, because we need it. Hopefully we don't get swept. Hopefully we can take the last game going into the Subway Series. We got the Subway Series coming up. If any Yankee fans are going to be at Citi Field, I'll be there on Sunday. I'm not going Friday or Saturday, but I'll be there on Sunday. You there on Sunday?
Yeah.
We lit. I'm linking up with Erica on Sunday at Citi Field. It's a Yankee fan takeover at Citi Field. Ace, I'll kick it over to you to get your last thoughts, and then throw it over to Erica, and then we'll wrap out.
I just appreciate wholeheartedly this therapy session at the end of the day, because like this team drives us all up a wall, and these are the type of things that we need. Like Grace has said, we are all in this together for real. And you know, I understand it gets a little volatile in the Yankee chats as well, but hopefully this team could turn it around. And, you know, one game at a time, one inning at a time, one pitch at a time. That's all it takes. You know, like Grace said, it does feel good to have Giancarlo Stanton back, because that home run could be energizing. His offense can spark this team in the right direction. And how we forgot how great that this man truly is, especially when it comes to the playoffs. But we're only going to go as far as our best players take us. Aaron Judge, I'm looking at you. Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Boone's got to manage. The guys got to do the little things. And hopefully today is the start of a winning streak that goes to the end of July and all the way into October. You know, crossing our fingers. And, you know, I appreciate you guys. Make sure everybody hit that like and subscribe.
Erica, I'll toss it over to you, my friend. I hope you do feel better. I did miss you over the past few weeks, not having conversations. I do hope all is well, but go ahead, friend.
No, everything's good. Thank you for having me. I got like COVID. I don't know if I got this new strain of COVID, but I got like a summer flu. It's like wild. Anyway, I had to. I've been super busy at work, but I had to chime in on this one because it just feels like overall everyone has hit a boiling point. Like yesterday, actually after game 2, it felt like that we've all reached the boiling point and it's spilling over. But maybe we should just take Boone's approach and after every game just say, well, you know, that's just baseball. And it's okay, there's always tomorrow, we're turning the corner.
Yeah.
But
Baseball.
if
Why did
it's
I think of
baseball,
that?
yeah, exactly. Like I feel like an asshole. I'm sorry for cursing, but I feel like an asshole. Why do I care more than him when after watching his presser? Like that's just baseball.
That gave me the bingo, Hector. That gave me the bingo.
I was about to say, I just realized, bro. It's like you know, it's not the lane. You know, I just realized that just weren't no lanes open yesterday for the Yankees. That's what it was. That's what it was. All the lanes were blocked. There was traffic in every lane. In Toronto.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start telling myself that after games and whatever. But if they do get swept and they lose the series against the Mets and changes aren't made, I think that's gonna be absolutely wild. But if Boone did happen to get fired, would he be the first manager to manage an All-Star game without a job?
That'd be hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Because he's technically managing this All-Star game.
That is so funny.
I'm telling you, look, we got 10 more games. We're 10 games over 500. Could you imagine going into the All-Star break at 500 and he's still having a job?
Yeah, this just feels like a turning point in the season. And if they get swept and then lose to the Mets, the series, at least drop the series, it's not a good look if you continue with what they are putting out there now, but that's just me.
Yeah, Met fans, they have a lot of confidence going into the Subway Series because both teams suck right now. Like literally both teams are sucking right now. And I don't know. Let's see what happens. Hopefully Sunday the Yankees aren't there and trying to avoid a sweep and we're there trying to sweep the Mets or trying to close out the series. I don't know. But guys, like always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's shout out the chat before we get out of here. Big time Jerry Cadell. I appreciate you, Jerry. Anna Marie was in the building. Shout out to Anna Marie. My man, 19 comment. How you doing? Delulu Yankee fan. Froggy. We appreciate all of you guys. And like always, guys, drink your water. Stay hydrated. As Grace Monroe has the Martian headphones.
Don't trade Jason Dominguez.
Don't throw Jason Dominguez.
He's one of our hottest hitters.
Lead them all. Lead them all.
We didn't even talk about that.
That's it. Drink your water. Don't trade Jason Dominguez. Say something positive about yourself. I'm Grace Monroe.
I'm Hector.
I'm Erica.
I'm the Ace.
This is the Yankees Morning Brew, and we will be back this Tuesday coming up. Follow me on TikTok because I'll be live on TikTok later on tonight. And also on the channel, we're doing a Subway Series preview tonight. So until next time, arriba the Dirty. Adios. Peace. Gracias.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.